Hello everyone, this is John from Nickton Gaming, and I want to do a quick video on how to use the Icecream Video Editor Pro 2.44 software. Now, to begin using the software, you need to, of course, add files. You can drag and drop them to import them into the media library. Click here or click Add Files. I will drag and drop a file that I have prepared, and it will say copy when it is ready. You'll also see the border is yellow. If you drag it outside, you will see the X mark, and you cannot. So I'll drag it there. It tells me how long my video is, which is nice. And I can drag and drop it into here as many times as I want. This works if you have many videos. When you have many videos in your timeline, you can also drag them around to change the order. Another thing that is important is the cropping. You can crop it to scale to fit the screen, have a blurred background. You can set the crop area where it will crop and say if you want to keep your project aspect ratio. And then there's also a trim. So crop works on the size of your image, so I can reduce the size. And trim works on the length of your video, so I can set what part of the video will play. So now this part will only be from second 41 to 1 minute and 12. It will also be very short. You can set audio to set the volume of the audio, as well as a fade in and a fade out for the audio if you want to add something like music coming in. You can also keep the original audio or adjust an added soundtrack to the original audio of the scene. There are general settings such as the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, which is how colorful a color is, the hue, which is what color a color is, and the speed of the video. So now my video will be 4 times faster. Very fast. You can also rotate the video so it will be sideways. You can flip it completely. You can reverse the video and do many options in the general settings. If you don't like something, just feel free to press the X button to remove it and just drag and drop it again. You can also add filters, which are like split screen, hue shift, fashion. You can add as many as you want, or you can take them away as well. You can also add text. With text, it can be a little tricky because the text will display at the very beginning of the video. So if I say text here, I can say how I want the text to enter. Do I want it to bloom in, be the Night King, archive, earthquake, strobe lights? I can set the size of the text. I can set the speed that the text will come in and come out. So I can have it come in and leave very slowly. And that is about it. You can also set the position of the text. So where does the text show on the screen? And finally, the color of the text. Now, to show you the text, you will not see the text in this video, but changing the audio here does not change anything. But you can see the text is flashing in here once the video starts, and it will go away eventually based on the setting that you have here for speed. Speed means it comes in and leaves very fast. If I have it ×2 and I test the video, you can see it will appear and then disappear very fast. So if you want to have many pieces of text in your video, then you will need to cut your videos to piece. So for example, I can trim this video to end at 28.8 seconds. Then I can set this video to begin at 28.8 seconds. Now, there are times when you want to make things very exact in the video, and dragging it does not allow that many times, especially when you are dealing with long 1 hour videos. And it is very temperamental. I have so much trouble with it. But sometimes when you click the yellow area, and then you can use the arrow keys. As you can see, I am pressing the arrow keys and nothing is happening. But if I click done and I click trim again, I click the arrow key. Maybe if I play the video and pause the video, I can try it. I can try to drag it around. Still not working, but it does work in some cases. I've also noticed that sometimes I need to get to the end of the video and then I'm allowed. Now I can use the arrow keys to move it around, and it will move it by 0.1 second every single time to get to the exact area. So if you ever have trouble with editing your video or with moving the bar along, just try to set the video as close to the end. Just play it, let it get to the end, and then click it, and you can drag it around. As you saw, and as I said, it's very temperamental. There's also the undo and redo buttons that you can do, and the nuclear option of clearing the timeline, which will clear the timeline altogether as long as you are not within one of these menus. As you saw, I click filters and I cannot clear timeline. I click done, I can see my media library again, and I can clear the timeline. Also, I see the audio here. You can add or reduce the audio, but this is just for your viewing purposes. This should not affect the actual audio of the video that you export. You can say what general size you want your video to be, which will be affected in your crop when you crop it, because it will want to keep the project aspect ratio. So now it's keeping the aspect ratio here, but if I set it to 16:9 and I select crop, then it will keep the project aspect ratio for 16:9, as you see. You can also say the name of your project here, so I can say Icecream tutorial or tut, and this allows you to see your other projects. So I can say my projects, and I can see I have Icecream tut. I can create a new project. I can import a project from another computer of yours or a friend of yours. You can also destroy your projects as well if you do not want the project, or double click them to enter them. Finally, you have export video. You would say the file name, so what name do you want this video to have, where will you save it, what format will you save it in, do you just save the MP3. This is also very good if you have a video or a music video and you want to take the music from that music video. You can do that. You can set the resolution for the video. You can set the quality and how long is it. Is it just the first minute, the first 10 minutes, the full project? How much of the video do you export? And then you click export and it will show you how long it takes to export. This can take 2 minutes, this can take a few hours if you are dealing with a long and very edited video. You can also shut down the PC after finish. You can pause it if you want to use your PC resources for something else, or you can cancel. There is another thing that I did not tell you about because I did not see it in this version, which I am interested in. But in certain versions of Icecream Editor, you can actually add fun things to your video. Add color would add a base color, so if you want to start the video off with a base color and some text, that's fine. Um, You can also set the duration for the color, so how long does the color stay on screen. Now I have a different version of Icecream Video Editor on my laptop that allows me to go to text or filters, and then I can add emojis to my video, which will be very similar to how I add text. I'm not seeing that in Pro 2.44, so look for that, and it will be added very similar to how you add the text. And that's about it. Another thing to look at is the split function. I believe the split function would work well with a trimmed video, but I cannot get it to split right now. You can also right click and duplicate it. I'm wondering why I can't use the split. I've only used the split in a few circumstances, and that's all that I have to say about the Icecream Video Editor Pro 2.44. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you have fun using a very easy video editor. Goodbye.